Welcome back to another video, guys. This is Divij Vaswani. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today we are talking about how to make $1 million with influencer marketing. Let's just say you're a brand, right? Let's say you're a brand and you want to really just get your product out there in 2021. You want to get as many sales as you can. You want to hit $100,000 a month. That's $1.2 million in 2021. And guess what? It's doable. All you got to do is a couple steps, right? The first step is figure out who your ideal customer is, right? Are you selling to an 18-year-old? Are you selling to a 65-year-old? Are they a man? Are they a woman? Are they in the United States? Once you answer these questions, you can then start to narrow down which influencer talent actually make the most sense for your business. So once you figured out your ideal customer, the next step is actually finding the right influencers that you want to leverage. There's actually a lot of tools out there for you guys to use. The first one is channelcrawler.com. This is a beautiful platform for you guys to find the best YouTube talent that fits sort of what criteria you're looking for. Let's say you have a gaming company, right? You have this new game that you really want to get out into the world. You can go on channelcrawler.com and you can actually find gaming influencers within the US who have a certain subscriber count, a certain view count, and you can start to literally just outreach to them, clicking on their channel, going to the About section, and finding their email address. Once you find their email address, of course, all you gotta do is just hit them up, send them an email, and that's a really great way to reach out to people, is just hitting them up on email. And of course, a lot of these influencers have their emails in their Instagram bio, so you can just email them from there as well. Okay, so that's the first thing, guys, is making sure you guys are leveraging platforms like channelcrawler.com and leveraging email to actually contact the right influencers. The second thing is actually leveraging agencies or management companies where they have a pool of more than 10, 20, 30, sometimes hundreds of influencers. You know, my company, Divij Management, is a really great place for people to come to because we have so much influencer talent across all platforms. All you have to do is reach out to me and we can start to have those conversations. Let's say you've actually found the influencer talent that you want to use. How do you know what prices you're supposed to be paying these people? Do you know what they're worth as a creator? There's different metrics that you guys should be using as the brand. The first thing is figuring out your CPA, right? What are your CPA targets? And CPA is cost per action. So how much money are you willing to spend to actually acquire a customer? Let's say you're selling a product that's $1,000. You probably don't want to be spending $2,000 to acquire that customer. You probably want to be spending maybe $100, right? The key is figuring out what your CPA targets are, and then you can sort of look through the influencers and sort of reach out to them and say, hey, do you have any case studies? And actually see, you know, what CPA targets those brands that have previously worked with those influencers were able to hit. And that'll give you a really great idea. The other thing is CPM, cost per million. That means cost per 1,000 views. So the average CPM that brands like to spend on YouTube is typically somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks. What does that mean, right? So if a YouTuber is getting about 1 million views on YouTube, that means at 10 CPM, that's about $10,000 for that creator to integrate your product or service into their content. Now, some brands will spend up to $20, $30, which means that if they're spending $30 CPM, that's $30,000 for a creator getting 1 million views to integrate your product or service into their content. You have to sort of do some digging and find the right creators that are going to be right for you. Guys, paid partnerships are the best way to sort of incentivize creators to really focus on that content, really make it organic, and really make it fit within their, within their content. So once you've sort of identified who those creators are, what those CPM and CPA targets are, the next thing is figuring out what that content looks like. The thing I like to say is give the creator creative flexibility, okay? Because creators understand their platforms the best, and you want to sort of let them have the freedom of integrating how they want. But with that being said, you guys want to make sure as the brand you have ownership of the process and that you are able to sort of control whether or not that influencer can post that content until it's approved, right? So I would always suggest having a contract with the influencer, making sure you're giving the influencer talking points and deliverables so that they understand exactly what you're looking for. Make sure you guys include the fact that those influencers cannot post the content until you approve. And if you say that they have to make edits to the content, you want to make sure that they do those edits before posting, and that's going to save you a lot of trouble and a lot of money. So those are some important tips about influencer marketing. And the next thing is as a brand, you want to make sure that you're getting content constantly, and I promise you, you don't want to be worried about content, right? You want to have the content just coming in, and the best way to do that is once you've identified those key influencers that are performing for you, you want to actually put those influencers on a retainer. Give them a monthly fee so that you know that every month you're getting consistent content coming in. I would also suggest paying them a little bit more for the actual usage rights and the licensing of that content so that you can use it for your own Facebook ads, Instagram ads, etc., and your own paid media. And that's going to save you guys so much money in the long term in terms of getting your own content to actually push out your product or service. So through influencers, you can actually knock out both paid media content and getting the actual media value from the influencer by including usage rights in those contracts. And if you guys have any questions on usage rights and licensing, please hit me up. Happy to explain how it works. So that's sort of an idea of how paid partnerships work within the influencer space. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, this is Divij Vaswani with Divij Management. Make sure you guys subscribe, smash that like button, turn post notifications on. See you guys in the next one. Peace.